Move forward. That's a little bit more, a little bit further. A little bit further. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Turn me towards the bridge now so I can see it. Keep going a bit further. No. That's fine. Okay. Okay, moving on slowly.
A small bridge near Cerne Abbas in Dorset marks the beginning of a new pictorial essay by the American photographer Bruce Brown. It's not a remarkable picture, but its significance is enormous.
Right.
For Bruce Brown, it's the beginning of a new life. His ambitions have never been complicated, just to be the world's best photographer. An almost fatal accident and a fractured spine which has left him paralyzed don't seem good enough reasons to change that.
Okay. Gotta come a tiny bit closer. Is there any... That's it. Perfect. Okay. Now, swing right with a little bit. Am I right? That's it. Just a bit further. Stop.
During 13 months in hospital, he had thought constantly about taking photographs again. The only other excitement on offer, he claimed, was watching television and eating the occasional grape.
That's it. Okay. We're ready to go.
Dorset landscapes are a total contrast to the work for which Bruce is best known. He's a commercial photographer who has created smooth and sleek images for cars and cigarettes, and sometimes a combination of the two. He grew up in Michigan, surrounded by the American car industry and the great outdoors. And he carried the same rugged energy into his work as a photographer, whether at sub-zero temperatures in the Himalayas, where he once airlifted a car, or in the steaming heat of the Thai and Burmese jungles. He had a particular fondness for working in the West Indies, but wherever he chose to go, or the dictates of work took him, it was a life spent very much in the fast lane.
He was, I suppose, the top of his field, actually, when I knew him in the beginning. He was, if you remember those old Benson Hedges ads, Silence is Golden, with a pack on a boat on a loch in Scotland. And they were magic. And there was another picture of a pack of cigarettes on a gondola in Venice. I mean, those pictures were magic. They were, I mean, I think he's a brilliant photographer. He's a very creative man, and he's also very technical. I mean, a lot of photographers aren't both. He's both of those things. I mean, he was telling me about, and showing me the pictures, actually, of a train. I think it was coming out of Bombay at about sort of 60, 70 miles an hour, and he was in a Range Rover. And he was, you know, going along shooting the images. It sounds wonderful. And another set of pictures he did was up in the glaciers, I think up in Iceland, with a Range Rover coming down a glacier. Him in another Range Rover taking pictures of skiers doing somersaults over the Range Rovers. So he doesn't do things by halves. It's, you know, when he goes for it, he goes for it.
And he took the magic touch with him into film. His first commercial for Heineken won several major advertising awards.
I walked about a bit on my own. Oh, no. I strolled around without anyone else. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills.
Only Heineken can do this because it refreshes the poets. Other beers cannot reach.
But then Friday, the 13th of February, arrived. Perhaps too well refreshed, Bruce came home in the early hours of the morning, stumbled and fell 12 feet into a basement, and in that moment, his entire life changed.
He was unconscious for 2 weeks. He woke up in the Royal Free Hospital in Hammersmith, tubes sticking out of his neck, and he was told that he'd been on the verge of death for quite a long time, and he very, very nearly died.
You know, they'd shaved all his hair off. He had long hair, you see, an old hippie at heart, I think. But they shaved all that off, and, you know, he became a different person. He looked, you know, he looked quite sad. And you had to wear these plastic overalls and plastic gloves and things over your mouth and everything. And I remember leaving then thinking I wouldn't see him again. I wouldn't see him alive.
In theory, I died, you know, and I felt I died. I was very aware that I was going. You know, I couldn't see, tunnel vision, all these tubes. I knew that I was gone, and it was quite interesting. I mean, I quite liked it.
They saved him, and then they took him along to this spinal unit at Stanmore, which is a fantastic hospital, absolutely amazing place. And he spent a year there, recovering mentally and physically, I suppose. But it became apparent very early on that he was paralysed for the majority of his body.
You really appreciate tiny, I don't know, sensations in life, you know, like high points become giant high points, you know, whereas I mean, a pack of M&Ms wouldn't have made you a big difference to you, or a bar of Cadbury's, but to me it was like a whole new experience, because I couldn't eat for 2.5 months because nothing tasted vaguely like it was supposed to taste. Then my taste came back, and eventually my eyes got much better. They were quite bad for a while. My speech was very bad at the beginning. And all these things come back, and you think, oh, I can speak. Oh, I can see. Oh, I can hear.
There's never any self-pity at all. All he was talking about, do you think I can, you know, do you think I'll be ready to photograph? What should I do when when I'm fit? I want to get back out there again. And Robbie, his agent, he kept talking. Robbie's going to get another book together for me, and you know, I've got to get back on the road. And you know, he was just a trooper.
And I thought, how can you do that? You know, you're paralysed. You can't even press a shutter. So I really thought, well, perhaps we can do something together, but I can't see him ever actually getting back to being anything approaching what he was before.
Yep.
Bruce's central nervous system had suffered massive trauma, leaving him not only paralysed, but at first seriously debilitated and prone to illness and infection. He hired Linda Flavel, one of the Stanmore nurses, to be with him full-time. If his object was to keep pushing back the limits of what was possible, hers was to restrain him from being foolhardy. When the writer John Gibb offered Bruce a book of Thomas Hardy landscapes, neither knew if the commission could be fulfilled. There was only one way to find out.
These are some of the boxes which Partsy kept his slides in.
The Dorset County Museum in Dorchester is home to those archives of Thomas Hardy which have not been plundered by American universities.
After he died, his widow just sent them straight for auction in Dorchester, and they disappeared for years and years and years.
John Gibb had also discovered here a rare collection of photographs by the Victorian photographer Harry Pouncey, some of them used by Hardy as a source of detailed description in the novels. They toyed with the idea of recreating some of Pouncey's scenes a century later. But Bruce did not want to recreate somebody else's work. He wanted to create his own images.
Let's go around, take me right into the garden. Oh, wow. This is lovely.
The search for Hardy began at his cottage 7 miles from Dorchester.
Somewhere here there's a shot, you know, somewhere. I had luckily done a couple of practice shots at the hospital, so I knew I was capable of still taking pictures. That prepared me to, at least I thought, God, this is hard to do. Pictures are hard to do. But no, honestly, I was terrified. And that's not very nice, the end. So I'm not too worried. I mean, it is corny, that's for certain.
He wrote 2 of his books here. He wrote Under the Greenwood Tree and Tess of the D'Urbervilles in the cottage.
It's funny, living in such an ideal spot, He wasn't all that cheerful a guy, was he? I don't like Victorian writing, period. The good guy must end up dying with the wife on the grave, and, you know, it seems to be a very Victorian attitude. I'm much more of an optimist than that. I don't like being depressed. I like a happy ending.
It's ominous almost now, strangely enough,
Yeah.
even though it's sunny.
I wonder how high they were when he was writing Under the Greenwood.
Didn't know. Maybe they were just as high.
That's very deep.
I don't know how fast they grow. Okay, do you want to shoot this now? Shoot it,
A day for night shot to match the bleakness of Hardy's mood.
I think that Dorset has a Southern English kind of softness, almost corniness. And I think that was the most difficult challenge, because Hardy didn't write like that. He didn't write as if this was a pastoral, sweet place. He wrote about the roads full of, you know, pitfalls and everything else. So in a way, the hardest thing was to try to get on film a very soft English countryside that looked grim. I mean, that looked possibly, behind the facade there was death, if you like, or behind the facade there was in fact danger, you know?
want to do now one at a 60th. Speed at a 60th. Okay, shoot another one.
Linda's, in the last year, has become an extremely versatile person. I mean, when she first met him, she was a nurse in a hospital. And she's now become his hands and his eyes, his ears, and to some extent.
Right, shoot it.
She's learnt to put his cameras together. And I mean, this isn't you're not talking of an Olympus trip here. You're talking of incredibly complicated pieces of kit which have to be assembled and set up. Now, this is what assistants do for professional photographers. It's a difficult job, setting a camera up, and she's learned how to do it.
And then get the camera near to Bruce, and then he'll be able to move and see what's to be shot. But also,
She's you know, been with me when I've been really quite ill and various other things. So it's very important to find someone who understands, you know, you and cares. That's very rare. That's luck. And that's 90%, almost, I would say, of the real end result. When you have someone who is actually encouraging, you know, someone who actually cares whether you live or die, you know.
While in hospital, Bruce had the opportunity to try out an experimental new wheelchair, a remarkable device which can climb curbs or stairs and open up previously closed avenues for the disabled. He was the first person to take delivery of a production model. It may be a bit different from the Maserati, which he used to drive, but his approach is pretty much the same.
All set?
The electric chair was a tremendous step forward because I can go anywhere I want. There's nothing that can stop me. If you're given that one single piece of equipment, your entire life literally changes. You can go shopping, you can go up and down stairs, you can go down streets. Gravel road is no problem. Okay, it's about 3,800 pounds or 4,000 some pounds. The only reason I got one was from Manpower Services, was because I had 7 years of company reports which proved I was valuable, I employed people, and I was necessary, so they gave me the chair. As simple as that. And a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So I think it's an absolutely needed for everybody disabled, should actually have at least the opportunity to have something like that. So then they can actually make a living, and then they won't be a burden. I mean, look upon it the other way. It's an investment.
But the chair was not collapsible. It wouldn't fit into a car. With no income, Bruce was already spending considerable sums of money, until Renault lent him a specially converted van. It was good news, too, for Linda.
Without the van, she'd have to haul me inside and outside of a car 20 times, maybe 30 times, which would do her back in. I mean, I'd actually wear the girl out within a month. This is a cheap price, I think, to get someone back on Earth again.
Melbury House at Evershot, a major Hardy landmark. Known in racing circles for its stud, the Deer Park was the private passion of its owner, Lady Tessa Agnew. Although one of the most beautiful estates in England, Melbury has rarely been photographed. That the Agnews opened their home to Bruce may have owed something to the ordeal which he had survived and the one which Lady Tessa was undergoing. This is the last portrait of her. After a long illness, she has since died.
It's such a unique place, and it's very important to us, Melbury, and it's important to the book and to Bruce. And I remember him at that time feeling slightly sort of apprehensive about what was happening, and I feel that that was a key point in his development over the year. You see, one of the things about him is his ability to see photographs. I mean, he looks at something, the church in Melbury House, where he'll go into an area and see something which I can't see, and it's right. So he's still got that. Nothing can take that away from him. The difficulty is getting himself into the right position to do it.
You wouldn't get light like this anywhere else in the world. It does run in cycles, you know. When it comes out, we can do 4 or 5 shots, you know, a day. And I'd never seen this in Michigan, for instance, my whole life. It's amazing stuff. See, the trouble with bad weather is you get amazing light when it comes out, dramatic light, which unbeatable light. The trouble is you get 5 days in between to wait for it.
Go 15 foot 45 there. No, let me have 22, have 22.
Right. 60th.
Give me a 60th of 22, come on, let's go for it.
A lot of people out there don't realize you sit. You hurry and wait, hurry and wait.
And just occasionally, after waiting 5 days for the perfect moment of light and hurrying up the hill to catch it, you can be hampered just long enough to miss it.
22. Okay, that'll be sufficient. I'll take off my glasses, please. Okay, let's go. Wait till the shaft comes through. Oh God, I hope it's not too late now. All right. Bit of the shaft comes through now. This is the last hole we're going to get, if there's going to be one.
What did you actually get there, Bruce?
Nothing. I got some rays of sun back there, but I need a break. I need some light. I'm going to have some light in the foreground, you know? And it's windy. I mean, I need a bit of speed, you know, I mean.
Is this kind of light particularly frustrating because it just comes and goes, and if you miss the moment?
It's English. If you get a shot in this light, it's amazing, but you have to sit in a freezing spot in the middle of nowhere with this wind. So when we first came down here, we had one perfect day. We thought the first day, we thought, wow, this is going to be, you know. Then we had 5 days of non-stop rain. And after that many days had gone by, we were really suicidal. But then the next day came, right? We did 4 shots, so we were suddenly back on schedule, and it's been like that ever since. 2 shots in one day, no shot the next day, 2 shots the next day, you know.
Fantastic picture.
9 months after he began, and after long spells in a bleak and wintry Cornwall, Bruce has put together nearly 70 shots. It's time to review the work with John Gibb and to begin to plan the layout of the book.
Wow. Now this is one, this is near St. Juliet, where he was with his first wife. They restored the church. This is, I mean, it's just, it could be anywhere in England in many ways. It's quite near the sea. You do get this wind shear, you know, which in the shapes. Freezing.
I love that stand of trees going down.
Yes, clearly showing that the front ones were being beaten down, the back ones could grow. I like the kind of scientific side of it. This is the church in Portland, which Hardy called the most miserable place on earth. And I had to look at it just to see what it looked like. And we had a fierce gale, wind, and very crisp light, which you get in winter sometime. Again, this was dead winter. This was in the middle of December, I think it was. Overall, I think we did, by going exactly where he stood, exactly where he walked, I think we came very, very close, or as close as I've ever seen, in the books I've seen, to getting what he must have seen when he stood where he stood. My pictures now are softer, perhaps even more human. Since my accident, I'm actually a different photographer. But it's been noticed by people who know my work that it's different. It's not so hard-edged. It's not so crude in many ways.
What he's achieved is astonishing. You just have to look at the work, and it speaks for itself. I think also he's discovered for the first time that now that he doesn't have an art director from an advertising agency breathing down his neck, who in turn has got a client breathing down his neck, that Bruce isn't sort of subject to the same sort of pressures that he was when he was working commercially. He's now able to express himself and do what he wants to do, and he's actually discovered himself. It's almost as if he's been released by this accident. He was one sort of person before the accident, and he's a totally different sort of person now.
It's one of those dreams, in a way. That's your first dream, isn't it? If only I could wander off to wherever and take all the pictures I want, just for me, just for art's sake. The reality wasn't like that at all. It's absolute agony, because you're your own, I mean, I hate to say all these cliches all the time, but you are your own worst critic. So I mean, just then when you think you're free, you suddenly have to answer to yourself. It's okay if you do it okay for the art director, and the ad runs and you get your money. But in my case, I can't blame the ad on anyone, or the picture. I mean, I took it, that's me.
The last picture is to be of Thomas Hardy's statue in what Bruce calls downtown Dorchester.
Okay,
but Linda will have to take it.
Now go right around to the front of him. That's it, okay.
She's a very good photographer. She doesn't realize that, but she realizes it more and more. I mean, I actually feel free enough, which is ridiculous. I'm shooting blind. So yes, I can send her down the hill, and I can say, Linda, does it look like a good picture? And she comes up the hill, and I believe her.
Yeah. Focus in tight on his head. Now, do you get his whole head in there?
And I think its faith in her is well-founded, because she has proved herself, without question, visually.
You can frame him right against the slates. That's probably a little too close. Focus on his eyes.
They're very, very close, and they've got closer and closer. I mean, I think any disabled person has to have a very close relationship with the person that looks after them 24 hours a day. She physically has to do an awful lot for him. She has to get him in and out of bed, get him in and out of the bath. And Bruce is a big man. She has to do shopping for him. She has to live with him. Everything she has to do. But he can't do it, she does. So it's natural that they become very emotionally close. A great deal of his sort of renaissance is because of her.
But at a cost. For 18 months, when Bruce had virtually no income, social services refused to pay Linda's wages. They relented at the moment when his rehabilitation was complete and he was about to enter the commercial world again. Appropriately, the public occasion on which Bruce's work was to be seen for the first time since his accident was not a benefit night for him, but a charity auction. The British photographic establishment, Litchfield, Snowdon, Bailey, Donovan and the rest, were all on show. Bruce's pictures would have to stand comparison in open auction. The prices have been low. Apart from a Hockney, they're averaging around £100, and Bruce has just seen a coup start picture fail to raise any bid at all.
I found it difficult to deal with. Yeah.
110 in front, 110.
This is probably the worst moment. Oh, God. Oh, God, I can't bear it. I really can't.
Lot 77, Bruce Brown, Charles Hardy, Paul Goody. And I have £60 to start here at 60. 65, 70, 75, 85, 85, 90, 95.
Fine.
95 by the Lord, 95, 100.
That's all I wanted was 90.
At 100 in the center, at 100. At 100, very center, at 100. At £100 in the middle, at 110, 120, 130, 140. At 140 now in the center, 150. At 150, it's right side at 150. Against you at the back, at 150, right side at 150. Selling at 150, it's right side at 150, against you both at the back, 150. Lot 78, 70 out of bid at 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 5, 100, 10, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. All down at 170, against you on the left, 170, selling at 170, all down at 170, sold 170.
It was okay. And considering it was okay. Oh, my God. It's okay, it's acceptable. That's all I wanted.
At 180, 190, 200, 200 left side here.
Now I'm not afraid to die. So now I'm not afraid of anything in many ways. I like sitting here. I'm very happy to be alive. I'm very enthusiastic about everything now. I mean, I'm not jaded as much as I used to be, certainly. Yeah, and that's the advantage. I've already died. See, you have to face it yet, you know. And nothing could be worse, to be honest with you, is what I've been through. I don't think anything could be. I really don't. Respirator, you know, lung stopping, the whole lot. What could be worse? I don't think there's much, you know. So pessimism gets you nowhere. I mean, my mom used to say, tomorrow will be a better day. You know, it's this whole thing. But yeah, I think I'm optimistic. I have to be. It hasn't let me down yet being optimistic. Let's put it that way.